She explained that Robert's father had added a cunning clause in his will when he left him the lake house. Robert could only become the owner of the house if he returned to our family. To secure his right to the house, I also had to sign the necessary documents. This revelation shocked me and filled me with disgust. At last, I understood why he had been so persistent in trying to contact me over the past few weeks. His main reason for reaching out was not a genuine desire to reconcile or make amends, but rather his eagerness to obtain the house. The whole situation felt like a cruel manipulation of emotions, and I knew I needed to carefully consider my next steps. After discovering Robert's true intentions, I realized it was time to act. At the time of writing that update, I had already begun looking for a lawyer to prepare the divorce papers. I also spoke with my parents, who now regret advising me to consider Robert's proposal. They understand that he hasn't changed over the years and support my decision to finally divorce him officially. They regret even suggesting that I listen to him and now see that leaving him is the right choice. At this point, I blocked Robert so he could no longer bother me, and I plan to meet him in person to hand him the divorce papers. Update 3. 2 months have passed since the last update, and now I can share some good news. As I mentioned, I intended to hand Robert the divorce documents, so I asked him to meet with me. He agreed immediately. Emily and Nathan expressed a desire to see their father one last time. They had many questions for him, and I felt it was important for them to get answers in order to close this chapter. Despite the pain of the past, we arranged to meet in a neutral place, a local park where we had once shared many happy family moments before Robert left. Emily's eyes were full of a mix of curiosity and skepticism as she looked at her father, while Nathan stood awkwardly beside me. From the start, I told Robert that I knew the real reason he decided to return after all this time. Robert objected, insisting that it wasn't only about the clause in his father's will, but also about his genuine desire for a second chance with our family. I shook my head, knowing I could no longer believe a single word he said. I told him it was over for us, and the least he could do was give our children answers to their questions. He nodded. Emily was the first to ask if it had been worth leaving us for another woman. Robert shamefully lowered his gaze and admitted he had been lost, made a terrible mistake, and deeply regretted his decision. Nathan, being more direct, asked if his personal life had been more important than the family he abandoned. Robert sighed deeply before answering that he hadn't been thinking clearly at the time and admitted he was wrong to leave us. My children, sharp and perceptive, were not satisfied with such answers. Robert tried to excuse his betrayal by calling it a midlife crisis. He then shared painful details about his life with Isabella, the struggles they faced, and his realization that he had been chasing an illusion. Emily and Nathan listened intently, though I doubted they believed him. They asked why he had never tried to contact them and whether he truly regretted leaving us. I could hear the pain in their voices. Robert confessed that guilt had been eating away at him and he hadn't known how to deal with the consequences of his actions. Once again, he repeated that he wanted us to be a family again, claiming that now he could provide us with a luxurious life. Looking into my children's eyes, I realized the answer was obvious. They didn't believe him, just as I didn't, and they would not allow Robert to re-enter our lives so easily, offering money as compensation for the harm he caused. This was a matter of principle. With full determination, I told Robert that we had already left him in the past, and we didn't need him or his money. I handed him the divorce papers as he stared at them with a look of regret and disappointment. He pleaded with me, insisting that he genuinely wanted to make amends for the lost years, but I remained firm in my decision. Robert then offered to share the profit from selling the lake house with me, saying that way we could both benefit. But Emily immediately objected, saying we didn't need his charity. Nathan nodded in agreement and added that we already had everything we needed to be happy. At that moment, I think Robert finally realized the magnitude of the mistake he had made. He began to cry, saying he was sorry to the children. He admitted that leaving us had been a terrible mistake and understood that we would never be able to forgive him. That day, as I walked out of the park holding Emily and Nathan's hands, I felt free for the first time. I suddenly realized the burden I had carried for the sake of my children. It felt wonderful to see them standing up for me and supporting me. Our divorce was finalized. I know it will take time to be officially free from Robert, but for now, I plan to take a break and spend time with my children. We are going to Disneyland, a trip we have been waiting for a long time. I want to create happy memories with my kids, filled with laughter and joy, to overshadow the painful moments of the past. I am certain that as long as we are together, we can handle any challenges the future may bring, despite all the trials and emotional turmoil we have endured. My children and I are on the path to healing and building a new, stable life. This chapter is far from over, but now we will write our own story. And I intend to make it a story full of love and trust.